Thank you, Mark. Welcome to Stamford Bridge on a rainy Saturday night. Our referee, Chris Kavanagh, has just got the game underway. This is Arsenal against Chelsea. Lovely memories there. Fantastic tributes this afternoon on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds to a truly wonderful footballer and a great, great man, the late Sir Bobby Charlton. Arsenal and Chelsea is underway. The former Scotland international Pat Nevin is sitting alongside me. We had a minute's silence ahead of the game to remember the innocent civilians who've lost their lives and all those affected at the moment by the ongoing crisis in Israel and Gaza. But you well know as well, Pat, while heads were bowed and people were paying their respect and thinking about those poor people around the world, people also thinking about Sir Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, the word that got round here at Stamford Bridge, and it doesn't really matter where it is. I mean, Old Trafford will be thought of very specially, but everyone in football feels so much for that man.
Good ball played down the right-hand side for Raheem Sterling to chase early on for Chelsea. Started wide on the right-hand side, twisting and turning, little cross into the near post. Conor Gallagher was lurking there, slipped. Arsenal have given the ball away. Half a chance for Gallagher, onto his left foot, scuffs the shot. Back it comes to Enzo Fernandez, and he kills it just wide of the top corner. So Arsenal just in a spot of bother in the early stages, and I can see Declan Rice with his palms out just trying to calm everything down. A bright start made by your former club, Pat Nevin.
Very, very good from Chelsea there. I mean, getting the ball forward quite quickly, but not aimlessly, to Sterling, who really has turned on the form this season in comparison to his previous time at Chelsea. But one of the things the players will have to get used to, both teams are passing teams. They want to zip it about. The ball's holding up a bit. There's been so much rain. Now that'll go away as the game goes on, but at the moment we need to understand that the ball won't roll quite as zippily.
It's light rain that is sweeping across the pitch here at Stamford Bridge, but wet enough for Mikel Arteta to have the dark raincoat on with the collars poked up. Arsenal have given the ball away. Cole Palmer has Sterling to his right. The pass is behind him. Not the best ball from Palmer. Sterling flicks it with the back heel. Chelsea have kept possession, but a really good opportunity went to begging there. Here's Palmer again, turning on the edge of the penalty area, and out it goes to the right-hand side to Malo Gusto. The young Frenchman made his international debut for France in the international break, back from suspension for Chelsea, in for Axel Disasi, who's on the bench for Chelsea for this one. I'll give you the full team news in just a second. Strong defending from Saliba for Arsenal. They're in the red shirts with the white sleeves, white shorts and red socks, defending the goal away to our left in front of the shed end, and Declan Rice down with the byline, plays it to Saliba, back to David Raya, who clears with his right foot over the head of Gabriel Jesus, and the ball runs into the Chelsea half. What an opportunity there to play Sterling in, or possibly get a shot away, Pat.
Yes, confused the life of Arsenal the way the Chelsea have started this game, because it's not that obvious who's playing up front, because sometimes, it's Cole Palmer, sometimes it's Caicedo, and at the moment Arsenal are looking around thinking, what are Chelsea doing just now? And it really is two wide attackers with Sterling and Mudryk on either side, but any of the midfielders filling in that role.
Yeah, in that first move actually, where the cross came into the near post, it was Gallagher, wasn't it? Yep. Which took me by surprise, because I was expecting that to be Cole Palmer. So something for Arsenal to watch early on in the game. Chelsea then line up as follows. 2 changes from the 4-1 win away to Burnley, which came before the international break. Robert Sanchez in goal. Malo Gusto I've mentioned at right back. Mark Cucurella, who's played right back in the last couple of Premier League games, now over in the more familiar position of left back. Thiago Silva alongside the recent England debutant Levi Colwill at centre back. Conor Gallagher, Moses Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez as a midfield 3. Sterling and Mudryk the wide men, as Pat's just explained, and then Cole Palmer nominally playing through the middle, but as we've seen, 2 or 3 players already making those runs. Bukayo Saka gets a first touch of the evening, fit to start for Arsenal. I'll give you their team in just a second. 4 minutes played. This is Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0, and Arsenal win will take them top of the Premier League table tonight, above Manchester City, who have ended up there this afternoon after their 2-1 win over Brighton in our first Premier League commentary this Saturday, with, of course, the Rugby Union World Cup semi-final between England and South Africa on the way in full. 8 o'clock kick-off tonight after the game here. Pat and I will hand you over to Sonia McLaughlin and the team. Pat.
I love your description of this as light rain. Even where I come from, this isn't light rain. I think if you're a player out there, it's battering down, but it's noticeable the players when they're playing passes now, they try to play just slightly above the ground so that it zips over and doesn't. I think that's part of the problem with Arsenal try to play out to the back. They've been caught out once or twice in that the big thing is Chelsea have been right on top of them. Another very interesting thing, I'll get back to in a minute,
Yeah.
involves this man on the ball.
Okay, well that's Saka, and Saka's battling with Cucurella, tried to knock it through the legs of Cucurella, trips Cucurella has a word, and then the two of them eventually, after exchanging words, slap each other on the back. So what about Saka?
Well, I love that attitude that Cucurella's got. He loves the battle, but he's got friendliness about. Well, Saka is playing just well. I mean, he's been brilliant this season and last season, and for England he's been fantastic. So much so that you've almost forgotten about Raheem Sterling. But Sterling, in the form he's on just now, would like to say, hey, I should be in this conversation. So that's a very good little match within a match to watch today with those two players.
Yeah, battle of the right wingers. Chelsea in blue, playing from right to left in this first half. Our commentary position high up in the East Stand. Your Arsenal team as follows: David Raya in goal, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel and Alexander Zinchenko, Declan Rice and the former Chelsea man Jorginho alongside him in central midfield. Saka, Ødegaard and Martinelli. Saka's down at the moment, slowly picking himself to his feet just inside the Chelsea half. And Gabriel Jesus as the Arsenal centre forward. Plenty of these players involved in the international football over the last couple of weeks. So we'll have to see how that possibly tells later in the game. Nice pass to Sterling on the right. Sterling tricking his way into the penalty area, looks for the cutback. Declan Rice in the right place for Arsenal, clears with his left foot, throwing for Chelsea on the right.
Zinchenko loves to go into midfield, doesn't he? When he gets the ball, he's a left back nominally. They want to square into midfield. They better not do that today, because every time he does it, he gets caught by Sterling.
Arsenal sweeping up the pitch quickly, just like the rain sweeping across the stadium. I'm going for fine rain, Pat, rather than light rain. Fine, but I know what you mean. It's wet. That's the bottom line.
Well, we've been moving up a bit from that. You know, there's been an injury. I'm trying to see who's gone down there, and I don't like the way he's lying. I don't like the way he's lying. It's one. Don't panic if you're listening. But it looks like one of these knee injuries. You think, oh, just he doesn't want to move. Actually, it's ankle, isn't it? It's ankle.
Gabriel Jesus. And I'll tell you what, Pat, what happened there, Jesus did some brilliant work inside the Arsenal half, and then the challenge from Cole Palmer. So as Jesus plays the ball away to release Ødegaard, Palmer is looking to slide in and take the ball from behind. You're not allowed to tackle from there anyway. That was a foul. I imagine the referee either didn't see it or played the advantage, but he's caught him heavily, sort of on the ankle and on the Achilles, and Gabriel Jesus is down in some pain, Pat.
And giving him a yellow card correctly. I don't think Palmer can argue that at all.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think the referee's seen it. I think he's had a wee word from his assistant referee over there, but he's left it too late, and the studs have gone round the back. Just the way he was lying there, I did worry that sometimes when they don't move like that, it could be, a twist.
He's sore, Pat.
He's sore, but it's a kick.
Yeah.
It studs into the back of the ankle, but it's not a twist, which is what us players and ex-players don't like.
I could see his Brazilian teammate, Gabriel Jesus, his Brazilian teammate, Gabriel, just straight onto the referee there about the challenge, didn't like it. But yellow card for Cole Palmer. Right decision, and the game is back underway. Our producer George faithfully tells me it's the first time Arsenal have been able to start that front three of Saka, Jesus and Martinelli in a Premier League game this season, so they don't want that cut short just 8 minutes into the game. So Jesus looks like he's back up to speed pretty quickly though here. He's on the closing down duties inside the Chelsea half. Ball is whipped out to Cucurella, who very nearly found the forward run of Fernandes. Gabriel intercepts, releases Martinelli. Martinelli goes speeding through the heart of the Chelsea midfield, up to the edge of the penalty area. Ødegaard plays it to his right. Martinelli looking to knock it through the legs of Gallagher. Gallagher's not falling for that, brings it away for Chelsea, and this has been a good, fluent start to the game. And this time Declan Rice is in with the challenge on Cole Palmer, and immediately a load of Chelsea fans in front of us are up and brandishing imaginary yellow cards. I think Cole Palmer's making the point as well, actually.
He is making the point, but he's not brandishing a yellow card. To be honest, I think Cole Palmer knows that challenge is coming and waits for it. I think the referee's spot on there. It's a free kick and not a lot else. Definitely not a yellow card for me.
I'm right in saying, aren't I, Pat, because we were recently having this conversation, that the brandishing of the imaginary yellow card should earn the brandisher a yellow card for the brandisher.
No, it does.
Yeah,
no, it does, exactly. 100% still. Yeah. And actually in the PGMOL meeting that we were both...
miscue.
Silva.
Miscue from Silva at the back, lets Ødegaard in. Chelsea with some defending to do. That was a swing and a miss with the left foot. A complete shank on the ball.
It's almost like watching a golfer, a top professional golfer, try and hit a ball and miss.
Exactly.
Extraordinary.
Head up and just completely missed the ball, and Ødegaard was there to pounce but couldn't turn it into anything concrete for Arsenal. 9 minutes have flown by. 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds live at Stamford Bridge this evening. So if you're on the move, the BBC Sounds app is the one to download onto your device so you can listen to us wherever you are. Mudryk caught there by Zinchenko just inside the Chelsea half, and Zinchenko does now get the yellow card, hence the big roar from the Chelsea fans. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0.
Do you know what? That's a real problem for Zinchenko. You know, I was mentioning before that if he comes infield too often, he's leaving Sterling, who's just flying down that wing. He's gone for pace already. You stick a yellow card on top of that, and through the rain over there, I think Raheem Sterling was smiling, saying, "Give me the ball."
Cucurella with the long curly black hair plays it back to his goalkeeper Sanchez, forward to Mudryk, chests it down, that works out nicely, falls to the feet of Gallagher, very deliberate with the pass across the zippy pitch towards Palmer. Palmer quickly onto Sterling. Sterling has Gusto on the outside. Sterling whips the ball in. Oh, is there a handball in there? Chelsea fans are up appealing for the handball. Referee Chris Kavanagh looks across to his assistant referee. The video assistant referee will have a look at that. The cross came in from Sterling. There was a header on goal. It's whether it struck an Arsenal arm that was outstretched.
I can't imagine that not being a penalty kick when this ball goes out of play. And the players are all saying that. The referee's saying, it's okay, it's been checked. You know, the play is going on just now. And this, you know, right at this moment, all those Chelsea fans that hate VAR suddenly love it.
Yeah.
If it is, then you have to look at it.
Yeah, well, they'll be looking. Jared Gillett is the video assistant referee, and the Chelsea fans in front of us are sort of turning to look at us because they think we're here in the news. We're not as yet. There's 3 giant TV monitors up in the roof of this East Stand, but they're not going to give you a replay. They're just showing the game live.
I'm just looking at the referee, as is everybody looking at the referee here. Now, if he's not seen it, he's not seen it, and that's what VAR's for. Yep. But that's got to be considered, surely.
Well, it must have been, Pat, at the moment.
Checking now.
Checking possible handball VAR. Saka's down hurt. That was the latest thing that happened in the game. He's been caught on the halfway line. But now this will be looked at by Jared Gillett, and hopefully we will get the pictures at the same time, Pat.
Stick on, come on.
Well, Pat's giving it. And Chris Kavanagh is being sent to the screen, and we know what that means, don't we? He's going to have another look at this. Jared Gillett definitely feels there's something to look at. The Chelsea fans are confident it's going to be a penalty. Sterling's cross, it's Cole Palmer's header, and it's the outstretched left arm of William Saliba that it catches.
Do you know when you look at the rules and the way they've been rewritten, what precisely a penalty kick is? Well, that's it. So, no, it can't be anything else. It must be a penalty kick. I mean, he's actually looking at it 4 or 5 times to be sure. But I mean, I can't see why.
Saliba is jumping, but his arm, it couldn't be more outstretched.
Yes, it's too high.
And
it's above his head. It's at head height. You know, it's very difficult to imagine.
He's not really using that left arm for leverage to jump. That is out there. That has blocked the header, which may have been goal bound. Chris Kavanagh has seen enough of the replays. He marches slowly back onto the pitch here, and he will give a penalty to Chelsea. Draws the rectangle in the air to signal that he's changing his decision. Saliba handball. Chelsea have an early opportunity to go in front against their London rivals. It'll be interesting to see who gets the penalty. Cole Palmer took the last one for them away at Burnley and stuck it away. Raheem Sterling had the ball in his hands, but it's Cole Palmer who's got it again.
There's such an anger around because the referee didn't see it. He couldn't see it. His position, he just simply couldn't see it. The play was between him. However, correct decision. VAR's got that right. Can we say that? Is that allowed? Well done, VAR. And a huge moment. Chelsea have been the better team so far, and if they do score this, they deserve to be ahead.
Cole Palmer has already scored against Arsenal this season, but that was in the light blue shirt of Manchester City in the Community Shield. That was a match that actually ended up on penalties, and Arsenal won the trophy. Palmer, who stuck the penalty away at Turf Moor a couple of weeks ago. David Raya has tried to delay him. Palmer steps back, wipes his nose with his dark blue sleeve, and he's getting ready to strike this ball with his left foot. Arsenal fans, travelling fans behind the goal trying to put him off. The whistle blows. There's one deep breath from Cole Palmer. Steps up and buries the penalty into the bottom corner. And Chelsea lead Arsenal by a goal to 0. And on the first 15 minutes of play at Stamford Bridge, deserved the lead as well. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0.
And every part of this game so far, Chelsea been involved. If you think of Chelsea just now, before this game started, they were bottom half of the league. they've not looked like that, have they? They have looked like a team with very great confidence, and considering this club are used to being in the top half of the league, and when they haven't been, they've looked bereft of confidence. What a difference Pochettino's made.
He has, yeah. 3 wins in a row in all competitions coming into this game. It started with the League Cup win against Brighton, then the 2-0 win away to Fulham, and then the 4-1 win away to Burnley. The lineup is looking more and more settled. Cole Palmer's come in from Manchester City and certainly made a difference. Stuck 2 penalties away in the last couple of games. We'll have to see how Arsenal are going to respond. David Raya clears long downfield. Jesus tries to flick it on. Mudryk controls inside his own half in the left back position, and there's Gallagher poking the ball with the outside of his right boot to Enzo Fernandez, who's lost it. Jesus holds off Colwill. Caught by Colwill. Has gone down. Referee Kavanagh says play on. Arsenal work it back to the halfway line. Here's Gabriel. Cross to Saliba.
So much chat in the game beforehand about Declan Rice and his importance. We hardly mentioned his name yet. He cannot get involved in this game.
There's Jorginho for Arsenal. So used, of course, to playing on this pitch for the opposition. Chelsea, 213 appearances for them. A Champions League winner, no less, of course, but now in the red and white of Arsenal. Chelsea leading Arsenal by a 1-0. 16 minutes played on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds. Sheffield United, Manchester United kicks off at 8 o'clock this evening at Bramall Lane. John Bennett and Paul Robinson will bring you updates on that one. Undoubtedly a hugely emotional occasion for Manchester United Football Club tonight, for all their fans, for everyone who supports them across the land, but not just Manchester United fans, with the passing of Sir Bobby Charlton today. And we've got full commentary of Manchester United against FC Copenhagen in the Champions League on Wednesday night. Here's Declan Rice playing the ball across to Saliba. It was his handball that conceded the penalty. Ben White with the peroxide hair. Saka ahead of him down the right, just knocked off his stride. The ball went out of play for a throw. Saka continued his run, and Cucurella had a little hack at him and tripped him over.
Do you know, Cucurella has played Saka brilliantly so far. I agree with that discussion you've just given there. Hack. He has had a hack at him, and it's one of those ones. Had that ball still been in play, I think the referee was looking for his yellow card again. I mean, that has been a really good battle between them two just now. At the moment, Cucurella's winning it, but Saka only needs to win it once.
Cucurella is relishing the opportunity he's being given in the Chelsea first team at the moment, isn't he, Pat?
Yeah, again, playing it right back for a couple of games. Looks a little bit more comfortable back in that left back end. I still think he's a wing back more than a full back, but at the moment, that tight marking job in Saka's not enjoying it, is he?
He's not. Here's Saliba inside the Arsenal half, across to Gabriel, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Gallagher and Palmer pressing for Chelsea. Across it comes to Ben White. Ben White slides a pass into Jorginho, who's just caught, just pulled back by Gallagher as he tried to turn. Referee says free kick, and Arsenal will take that quickly. 18 minutes in, Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. If you are just tuning in, Cole Palmer from the penalty spot after a Saliba handball.
Yeah, and worth adding on top of that, the reason was Mudryk had the header. It might not have been going on target, but he was very much second favourite, but he had the pace and the bravery to get in there. So Mudryk, another player who's been struggling since he came into the Chelsea team. A little bit more liveliness about him, but you see what Arsenal are trying to do now. They're trying to get a little bit more control of the ball, the game, the midfield. Jorginho and Declan Rice and Jorginho haven't been able to do that, and that showed up just then, didn't it?
Yeah, completely miscued pass from Jorginho under a little bit of pressure, slices it straight out of play, and there's that man Mudryk, 4th Premier League start in the last 5 games for him. He throws the ball to Cucurella. Cucurella steals a couple of yards up the left-hand touchline, takes the throw in short to Fernandez. Ødegaard comes speeding in to close him down, but he plays it back to Levi Colwill, who's got all the time in the world inside his own half, and he's going to take that time as well, and then just stroke a pass back to his goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, dressed all in black, the Chelsea keeper, with the white gloves away to our right. Colwill drives it forward with his left foot. Gallagher will chase, he's a willing runner. Raya's miles outside his penalty area, slightly awkward first touch, but flicks the ball up in the air, punts it long, chested down by Colwill, and having had the shank earlier in the half, he's just completely shanked another one on the volley, a trickier one to be fair, out for a throw into Arsenal.
He was so calm the way he chested the ball, you think, well done, really. Oh, not so well done. That worked quite. But having said that, I mean, Chelsea at the moment, they're finding it a lot easier to play out from the back, but they're not letting Arsenal do that comfortably, are they, just now? Just whether Chelsea can keep that up, but they seem to have enough youthful vibrancy to do that.
Zinchenko, lovely ball into Declan Rice, inside left channel into the penalty, outside of his right foot, tried a sneaky finish there and fires it past the far post, head in hands from Declan Rice, who now apologises to Ødegaard and Saka. What was he trying to shoot or cross there, Pat?
Well, he's done the wrong thing, because what you do is play the ball out and cross it with your left foot. You don't zip it too late. You're taking one touch too many. One touch, then play with your left. He's taking another touch, and by that time it's closed down, and he knows the mistake was he didn't play it after the second touch was to play it. He took a third, no chance.
Ball played forward up towards Conor Gallagher. Saliba followed him. Gallagher couldn't control it. Saka passes it back at speed to Gabriel. 20 minutes of the first half gone. Rain continues to fall in West London, as it has been up and down the country over the last couple of days. And Zinchenko into the feet of Rice. Right, it goes to Martinelli. Not seen so much of him in the last 10 minutes or so. Martinelli with the ball at his feet, level with the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Declan Rice makes a strong run down the left, followed well by Gusto, who makes the challenge. Chelsea double up on Rice, but Rice in the end does win the corner for Arsenal. As he fell, he hurt his right shoulder and seems to be grimacing in a little bit of pain.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got followed twice now in that kind of left wing-ish area. And that's what you get from Declan Rice. It's been tough for him at the start of this game, just sitting a little bit deeper, and he's thought, look, you need more now. He's trying to drive his team forward, and he has done a couple of times.
Chelsea lad as a kid, Declan Rice. Of course, there was talk of him possibly joining the club, but now an Arsenal man. Corner comes in for Arsenal, header away from Colwill under pressure, but there was a foul on Robert Sanchez in the 6-yard box, and the referee spotted that. Blew the whistle loud and clear. That'll be a free kick to Chelsea.
Well, he blew the whistle, but Arsenal have been blown away, haven't they, really, in the first 20 odd minutes. But that's not to say that they're not capable of coming back into it. There's a lot of mature players there, a lot of players that have done very well in the last couple of seasons, but they need to get a little bit of a foothold in the game. I think what Chelsea were thinking, if they could just get one more at this point in time, they could relax and draw Arsenal on, because the one thing Chelsea have got is a lot of pace going forward. Mudrik's fast, Sterling's got a lot of pace, and the willingness from the midfield to get forward there has been extraordinary as well. So things looking good for Chelsea at the moment, but early days.
Pat Nevin with us on 5 Live in BBC Sounds. A la Jorginho, Pat, who made over 200 appearances for Chelsea Football Club, twice a Player of the Year as well. Ball played forward from Gabriel towards Rice. Rice gets a little shove in the back as the ball makes its way back to David Raya. He's off balance and slices it out of play for a Chelsea throw on the right.
It's quite surprising that Raya doesn't look that comfortable in the ball here, because his teammates are getting closed down, the centre-backs are getting closed down, so he's not getting easy passes to make, and he's looking a bit rattled on the ball. Sanchez
playing a ball into midfield. Caicedo might have given that away. Gusto in with a sliding challenge to try and rescue it, but Arsenal onto it. Ødegaard, central position, overhits the pass, looking for Gabriel Jesus, went with the outside of the left foot, just too much on it.
Yep, Martinelli's rolling about. It's very difficult to tell from here how badly he was caught. Certainly Gusto went flying in. He's got plenty of the ball, Gusto. It's one of those ones you think, nah, I think that's a pretty good tackle to my mind. I think Martinelli just has to get up and go on with it, mate.
Referee having a word with Gabriel Martinelli, who is still on his back, slowly raising himself into a sitting position. So no play at the moment. Chelsea waiting to get the game back underway. Go on, Pat.
You know what? I wasn't absolutely prepared to believe it was as bad as he was making out. Neither did Zinchenko, who whipped over and dragged his teammate up and said, get up and get on with it. We don't need this. We need everybody working hard.
Premier League results so far today. Lots of games today. Lunchtime kickoff was the Merseyside derby. Liverpool beat Everton by 2-0. Mo Salah with a penalty and a very late second in that game. Sanchez clears with his right foot for Chelsea. Hooks it to the left. Lovely touch from Mudryk, trying to play it into the path of Fernandes, who's fouled Jorginho. It'll be a free kick to Arsenal. Manchester City top of the table. They beat Brighton 2-1. Newcastle United with a big 4-0 win over Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest were 2-0 up on Luton, but that one ended 2-2 at the City Ground. Brentford impressive apparently this afternoon. Beat Burnley by 3-0. And Wolves went behind away to Bournemouth, but won that game by 2-1. One Premier League commentary for you on 5 Live tomorrow afternoon. Looks like a good game as well. Aston Villa so good at home against West Ham. Kicks off at half-4. Gabriel Jesus hooks the ball into the Chelsea penalty area. Sanchez miles out of position. Rice tries to chest it down. Chelsea fans appeal for a handball. Jorginho can't find Saka with the pass, and Chelsea live to fight another day as Colwill thumps it clear.
The goalkeepers aren't enjoying it today, aren't they? Sanchez makes not one but two terrible decisions. He comes out, he's never going to get to the ball, it's time to go into reverse, and then he says, no, I'll go even further. You're not a left back, mate. Get back into your goals. They're very, very lucky, Chelsea, to get away with that. Arsenal couldn't quite get the ball down quickly enough to turn it into what would have been an empty net.
Saliba, right in the middle of the pitch, just crosses the halfway line, slides a pass to his right. There's Jorginho prompting the run of Ben White outside him. Mudrik's got it covered. Saka just inside, back to White. White's low cross into the box. Jesus turns, tries to get the shot away. That's blocked by Silva, and behind for the corner to Arsenal.
Yeah, much better for Arsenal now. Just since, it's hard to say exactly what it is, but I think it's a lot down to Declan Rice. He wasn't having an impact in the game. Suddenly he's pushed a little bit forward, and the rest of the team have been able to come up behind him, and it's very, very noticeable. They're getting the ball in the last third in more dangerous positions now.
Corner for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka is preparing to take it. Thousands of Chelsea fans in that lower tier of the Matthew Harding stand just behind him away to the right. Ødegaard offers the option short. Saka's not looking at him. Curls the ball in with his left foot. Silva, Colwill up to win the header. Jesus controls, turns on the edge of the area. Clever skills from Jesus, but Cucurella in with the challenge, and suddenly Chelsea away on the counter. Sterling stopped in his tracks, but Malo Gusto picks up the running. He's flying down the right. Martinelli follows. Martinelli catches him, wins the ball back for Arsenal. Now what's he going to do with it in a left-back position? Well, he's lost it to Gusto, and then he's fouled Gusto, and Chelsea win a free kick in an attacking position wide on the right-hand side.
It's unnecessary from Martinelli there. He's got back. Martinelli, not everyone realises, he has got astonishing pace. His pace is up there with the best in the league. And he gets the ball back there, and he needs to calm down a little bit, but because he's getting pushed into the corner, he gets a bit fed up, and it just unnecessarily lashes out and gives Chelsea a free kick in a very dangerous position now.
So Chelsea free kick wide on the right, level with the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, and they lead Arsenal by 1-0. Close-up camera shot of Mykhailo Mudryk with the tattooed neck, slick back hair, held back by the thin white Alice band. Sterling lurks on the edge of the penalty area. Mudryk curls it into the box towards the near post. Falls to the feet of Martinelli. His clearance straight to the chest of Gallagher, who's gone down hurt. Now, it didn't hit him in the head. It might have winded him that, and he stayed down, and Arsenal keep playing. Saka's been asked to chase one into the Chelsea half. Cucurella's got it covered, plays it back to Sanchez, and now the referee stops the game.
Yeah, it's probably quite difficult to know if it's winded him, where it caught him exactly. It was, full pace. It's actually just underneath his arm. It's a strange and unusual place to be caught, I think you could be right. I think it's the winded.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't expecting it. And he's not the type to go down and lay about, is he, Gallagher?
Players have come over for a drinks break and a chat with the manager. Conor Gallagher's back on his feet. If you've got time here, Pat, because we didn't have an opportunity to hear from you in Sports Report, you will be someone who met Sir Bobby Charlton at some point in your life. Yeah,
echoing what everyone was saying about him. He was a wonderful gentleman, and one of the, if not the greatest player that England ever produced. Remember, he was everything. He was a striker, he was a midfielder, he was a winger, he was everything, but also a fabulous gentleman as well. But I can remember the first ever live game I played, and he was the co-com doing the job I'm doing just now for TV, and he likened me to Stanley Matthews. and I just thought, I'm never, it doesn't get any better than that. You ain't getting likened, and it was Sir Bobby that said it. He was so kind.
Wow.
And that was one of the things that was many of us feel every word that was said was nice.
Chelsea leading Arsenal 1-0. Conor Gallagher playing it forward to Cole. Palmer hits the shot just wide. Good strike by Palmer. Raya flying to his left-hand side, didn't get a touch, and it just fizzed the wrong side of the post.
They've just not got it, Arsenal, have they? With that, it's a false 9, yes. He's not playing as a 9. Just now Palmer. But Palmer dropped back in there comfortably. And Gallagher's going to go up there all the time. But the movement and work between the two has been superb. And Palmer is I mean, these are a great start. A number of young players have come to Chelsea and really struggled to get in themselves self-sorted, playing their best football. Not Cole Palmer.
No, Arsenal are struggling, trying to play out from the back here. Pass is going astray. Eventually it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal on the left. Zinchenko will take it. We're coming up to the half-hour mark in the first half at Stamford Bridge. Incessant rain continues, and full commentary of the second Rugby Union World Cup semi-final is on the way. England against South Africa kicks off at 8 o'clock tonight. The All Blacks await in the final next weekend. That'll be a full commentary as well on 5 Live next Saturday. Also kicks off at 8 o'clock. Colwell's back there to deal with the situation for Chelsea and skews his clearance behind. He was trying to knock that out for a throw, but it's gone behind for a corner to Arsenal.
Colwell did really well there because he knows that Thiago Silva, for all his brilliance in his positioning, he's not got the pace to stay with some of the fastest players just now. Colwell was right over there helping him, and they are quite similar in many ways, style-wise, with the way they play, the both of them. They've got a real elegance about them as a dual partnership.
Corner taken short. Martinelli to Ødegaard. Back to Martinelli in the black cotton gloves. Finds Jorginho 30 yards out in a central position. Scoop pass into the box, headed back across goal, and there's Colwell. Just calmly volleys it away with his left foot. The ball's allowed to bounce. Zinchenko heads it back. Jorginho's got to chase it. Cucurella right behind him. Jorginho plays it back to David Raya. Raya immediately looking for Martinelli on the left. Overhits the pass and it goes out for a throw into Chelsea.
If you look back not that long ago at Cucurella and how he was being treated by the Chelsea fans and what they thought about him now, and just that attitude of him being the furthest forward, chasing all the way, they've noticed it. They've noticed him over the last wee while. And yes, he's got a bit of the spaniel about him. You know, he'll chase absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what? The Chelsea fans they're grudgingly turning on his favour, aren't they?
You mean, Pat, don't you, in terms of his attitude? But actually, he has the look as well, doesn't he? He has he almost has the Cocker Spaniel ears.
I meant it in both ways.
Yeah, exactly. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Saliba on the ball for Arsenal inside his own half. Jorginho drops deep, controls it on the instep of his white left boot. Pass across to Gabriel. Quickly down the line it goes to Rice. So where's Zinchenko gone to? Yep, there he is in central midfield. Not on the ball at the moment. Saliba just trips on the ball there for a second, but is able to bring it under his control. And then his pass goes low and left to Gabriel. Sterling closes in, so Gabriel comes back to his goalkeeper.
Yep, you can see what Arsenal try to do. I mean, you're looking at Zinchenko right midfield.
Yeah.
When they've got the ball, he just disappears into the midfield. Yes, plenty of teams are doing that just now. The problem is if that gap does open up for Sterling over there and he's given any space. So far, it's not happened, so Arsenal doing it right, but it's a dangerous game to play.
Chelsea leading Arsenal by a goal to nil. On the ball inside their own half. Colwell happy just to thump that clear with his left foot. Disgruntled murmurs from the Chelsea fans at the waste of possession there. Now Zinchenko is on the ball in central midfield for Arsenal. Low to his right to White, forward to Ødegaard, just inside the Chelsea half but back to goal. Clips a little pass back to Saliba, which he has to control on the bounce, and then with a long stride brings it across his own half and comes back to the right to Jorginho. Jorginho gets his head up inside his own half, doesn't see anything on forward, so comes across to Saliba again. This is at walking pace at the moment for Arsenal. Now Gabriel just tries to pick up the pace a little bit, goes trotting towards the halfway line, stops in his tracks again, plays back to Saliba across to Jorginho, and then Enzo Fernandez comes racing in, and that gives Jorginho the chance to find Saka forward to Ødegaard. Nice little neat layoff to Ben White on the right. White gets the ball onto his left foot and swings the crossfield pass high away to Jesus, who tries to dance inside Sterling, can't beat him. Sterling gets it back from Gusto, plays it straight back to Gusto in the right back position, and then Gusto to Caicedo, and Caicedo looking for the run of Sterling, but Gabriel has it covered. Saliba has to stretch and knock a ball high in the air. Zinchenko underneath it, heads it to his left, and Arsenal can't keep that in. Throw him for Chelsea.
Again, Sterling, very little involvement in the play, but he's needed him there. Right full back, Gusto under a little bit of pressure, right back in there, helping him, working hard, and again, you just got to look at the Chelsea manager. He's got a work rate out of a lot of players that maybe weren't putting in quite the same in times gone past, and Arsenal have had the best 10 minutes of the game. I would certainly agree with that, but Chelsea haven't been hugely stretched.
Half time in the WSL this evening, 5:15 kick-off. Manchester City's women leading away at Leicester by a goal to 0. That game is live on BBC 2 tonight. This is Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0 with 10 minutes remaining in the first half at Stamford Bridge.
There's 2 or 3 teams now that either Chelsea centre-backs or goalkeeper has launched it up the middle to the centre-forward with a minor problem that there isn't one. So they've got to get that a little bit better if they're going to do that. And I think it's a real surprise. You noticed it just a moment ago that Chelsea fans are going, what?
Yeah. Nicholas Jackson is on the bench. He missed international duty due to injury, not fit to start today. Here's Fernandes tries to get a pass away. Rice makes the tackle. Fernandes still on the ball, does well to keep his balance. Back to Cucurella, and now Conor Gallagher strokes a pass to Colwill across the halfway line to Thiago Silva forward to Cole Palmer, just pops up in a little space between that Arsenal defence and midfield. There's Gusto looking very at home in the Chelsea right back position. Reece James, of course, still on his way back from injury. On the bench for Chelsea today, should say as well, Aaron Ramsdale not involved actually for Arsenal today. Carl Hein is the substitute goalkeeper. That is because congratulations are due to the Ramsdale family. His wife Georgina has had a baby boy, so Aaron Ramsdale excused duties this evening. Cucurella was caught. Chelsea have a free kick inside their own.
Yeah, he didn't roll about. He was caught. It was a free kick. There was nothing more than that. Very much a winger's tackle there from Saka.
Talking wingers, did you see the Eden Hazard banner that went across the lower tier of the Matthew Harding stand at the side of the game? That was nice.
Not see it.
No,
it was rather big.
Yes. A true great, it said.
I mean, I'm 100%. I mean, one of the great players in English, modern football. One of the most skillful players we've ever seen. And to think what happened when he went to Real Madrid, and a lot of that was injury, but there were many other reasons too.
Ball given away by Chelsea. Jesus chests it down, back to Ødegaard. Couldn't find Jesus again. Swing and a miss from Gusto. Gets away with it. The ball falls to him and he finds Palmer. Palmer picks up the pace, striding forward down the right for Chelsea, looking for the runners ahead. Sterling has stayed wide. Sterling plays a quick 1-2 with him. Palmer gets it onto that left foot, the difference between the two teams so far. Oh, clever flick on from Fernandes. Forced to Gallagher, drives the volley, and Raya makes the block in a tight angle, and the flag then goes up for an offside.
Yeah, and again, some strange mistakes happening there. I'm really impressed by Enzo getting into that position there, winning a little knock-on run behind it. Yeah, he definitely was offside, there's no doubt about that. By the way, just another swing and a miss that you mentioned there.
Yeah.
And we were chatting before the game, you were asking about the conditions. And saying, will this help players? And I said,
what, the light rain, you mean?
Yeah, and I said, no, actually, there's too much zip in this. You're going to see some mistakes.
Yes.
And we've seen 3 or 4 ridiculous, outrageous ones.
That's right, here's Cucurella. Having a good game for Chelsea so far this evening. They lead 1-0. His ball down the left. Enzo Fernandes tries to control it acrobatically. Arsenal have it though. Saka plays infield to Ødegaard. Arsenal unbeaten so far in the Premier League this season. Don't forget that. 6 wins and 2 draws. And in terms of this rivalry, have had much of the better of it over the last few seasons as well. Have won last 6 out of 7 against Chelsea in all competitions. But here come Arsenal. Martinelli to Zinchenko. Little drag into the box looking for Rice. Silva's there. He intercepts. Arsenal back on the ball with Jorginho. 10 yards inside the Chelsea half in a central position. Now Saliba's low pass goes skidding across the pitch to Saka. Holds off Cucurella. Fantastic battle to watch that this afternoon. Saliba floated diagonal. Rice with the flick on. Clever header. Martinelli's behind him. Takes a second to control the ball. Flicks it to Rice. Rice back to Zinchenko just outside the Chelsea penalty area. Zinchenko, his ball finds Saliba. Saliba striding forward. Wide it goes to Saka, this time on the right-hand side, and it's Saka against Cucurella again. He tries to knock the pass past Cucurella. Look for Ødegaard. Mudryk brings it out for Chelsea. He's fouled. Free kick for the home team.
Yeah, you could tell that some Chelsea fans are getting a little bit uptight there. Watching it at the moment, slight adaptation from Mikel Arteta. I knew his team was second best, so he's moved Rice a little bit further forward. He said to Zinchenko, look, you've got to get into that midfield much more. He's pushed him up a little bit. It's drawn Arsenal much more into the game when they didn't have any answers before for that 15 or 20 minutes. And just those little technical adaptations, I think have put Arsenal ahead in this game in the last 10-15 minutes or so, and they have looked much more like their old selves.
6 minutes remaining in this first half. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. It's interesting you mentioned that as well, Pat, because you think back to the winner they got against Manchester City and Tomiyasu and Havertz came on, and Mikel Arteta was seen stay up and pushing them forward.
It was just a moment ago, kind of the left wing position, and the two players that were down in the line there, Zinchenko and Rice beside them as I speak. They're changing passes just now.
Yeah.
Just got them two working together and pushed further up the field as if to say, we're not playing well, so we'll attack more.
Ødegaard looking for that first time ball round the corner to Jesus. He ran right, the pass went left, and it's come through to Sanchez, who has the ball at his feet inside the Chelsea penalty area, away to our right. Really good piece written by Karen Bardsley on the BBC Sport website this week about the signing of Robert Sanchez and watching him as a goalkeeper from a former England international goalkeeper. That is well worth a read. Still up there because I was reading it this morning, so go and have a look at that. Here's Saliba inside the Chelsea half, shuffles it right to White further right to Saka against Cucurella. There's three blue shirts in front of Saka there. He's drawn them in and he's played it back to White. Here's Saliba across to Zinchenko with his left foot. The ball just takes a little while to reach Martinelli. He's one-on-one with Gusto in the Chelsea right back position. Martinelli plays back to Gabriel, quickly onto Jorginho in a central position, midway inside the Chelsea half. Zinchenko looking for Jesus just about gets hold of that ball, pokes it back to Jorginho, but they're struggling to find a way through Arsenal here.
Yeah, but this is what Arsenal do. They're beginning to wear Chelsea down a little bit. They're getting into slightly better position, certainly holding the ball much better.
Mudrik's clearance falls to Jesus, tries the first time hit. Now that could have gone out for a throw, but actually Martinelli, alert there, has chased it and kept it in, and this could work out well for Arsenal, attacking on the left. Declan Rice is there, cross comes in, takes a deflection, and that's an easy catch for the Chelsea keeper Sanchez.
Yeah, you need to be aware of your player, but there are going to be mishits in these conditions just now. Chelsea have got a chance to break.
Yeah, Chelsea fans excited here because Sanchez just bowled out underarm to Enzo Fernandez, who made 60 yards downfield.
Did you hear the groan in the background there? The ball gets to Sterling, he's got Zinchenko on his sights, and he turns around and he plays the ball 60 yards back. That's what Sterling hasn't been doing this season. And all those Chelsea fans are saying, well, why aren't you taking him on? You've not had the ball much in this last 20 minutes or so. And I think Sterling probably feels that himself now.
Ball back with Robert Sanchez, Chelsea's keeper. Ødegaard hones into view, so Sanchez clears with his right foot. Gabriel and Sterling tussling, both end up in a heap in a sort of wrestling encounter, and actually it's Sterling who's up first, and he hauls Gabriel to his feet. And play continues, and David Raya just rolls the ball out here to Saliba. Declan Rice dropping in between the centre-backs this time for Arsenal. Chelsea leading Arsenal by 1-0. 3 minutes to half-time. Second half commentary, of course, here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Then into the rugby tonight. England up against South Africa in the World Cup semi-final. South Africa will start as favourites. South Africa's cricketers giving England an absolute hammering in the World Cup today. Over in India, 399 for 7 they made. England all out for 170. Analysis and reaction on the Test Match Special podcast. Chelsea in control at the moment, leading 1-0, have the ball inside their own half. It comes across to Cucurella. Saka's in his face. Cucurella plays it back to Colwill. Nice control from him on the right foot across to Silva. Silva curls a pass forward, lovely flick on by Palmer to Sterling, and that's what the Chelsea fans want. Sterling speeding away from Zinchenko, plays it infield into the path here on the edge of the box. The driven shot with the left foot from Gusto there, flies over the bar and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Again, as I was mentioning before, if you're Sterling and you can get Zinchenko 1-on-1, get him close to you because he cannot tackle you. He's already on a yellow card.
Oh, David Raya, slightly risky pass out from the back. Jorginho saved it for Arsenal, and Gabriel is able to bring it out. So the only goal so far in the game, the Cole Palmer penalty, which came from the Sterling cross, the Mudryk header that hit Saliba's outstretched left arm, not given on the field. Chris Kavanagh was sent to the screen, and once he'd had a look a few times, Bat had already decided, but Chris Kavanagh agreed, said penalty. There's Jesus trying to flick it through to Martinelli. Jesus is caught late as he made the pass by Thiago Silva, and Thiago Silva's going to get booked.
That seemed a little bit harsh. I mean, Silva has slightly got into the habit of going square in the tackle now. That's a very common thing for a centre-back to do who doesn't really want to chase a player that's quicker than him. To be honest, that's a foul. That's a harsh yellow card. That's a very harsh yellow card.
39-year-old Thiago Silva. still going strong for Chelsea. Such an integral part of this team, which, as we've been saying and as we've been seeing so far in the game this evening, is fast improving under Mauricio Pochettino. Declan Rice makes a run, quick free kick into his feet. No, he was offside. He was just looking to angle that run in behind a flat Chelsea defensive line on the edge of the box. Nice idea, caught offside, free kick Chelsea.
Just look at Arsenal in particular just now. What will Arteta try to change and adapt even again? He's not really getting enough out of Odegaard, is he? I mean, really, you know the qualities he's got, but this right hand side, which Saka usually providing so much, very, very little coming from him, little coming from Odegaard, a little bit better from the left hand side though.
Enzo Fernandez, fabulous ball with his right foot. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Sterling with another chance to go at Zinchenko, full speed ahead into the box, takes a tumble, the ball ends up in the arms of David Raya, and referee Chris Kavanagh backpedaling away. Sterling still down, and at the moment Chris Kavanagh says that is not a penalty.
Well, he's not complaining too much about it, Sterling. Certainly was contact there, but there's a chance.
Yeah, long ball forward for Martinelli to chase, and Thiago Silva won't fancy that. He did have the head start. Oh, he's done well. Got his body in the way, got to the ball, turns away from Martinelli, and then Caicedo very nearly loses it on the edge of his own box, and this time Sanchez, not taking any risk, just clears downfield with his right foot. Sterling's coming back from an offside position. Gabriel miscontrols, and Arsenal only have about a minute or so to try and find an equaliser at the end of this first half. Zinchenko's ball to Odegaard, stretches, can't control it. Well read by Cucurella, steps in. Chelsea might want to extend their lead at the end of the first half. If Sterling can keep that in, he can. Stretches well, gets his head up. Now he's one-on-one with Gabriel, wide on the right. Plays it back to the edge of the box. Laid off here to Fernandez. Chelsea fans wanting to shoot, he does shoot straight into the arms of Raya.
I think he was forced into shooting there. I don't think it was the right thing to do. It took Chelsea a long time to get enough players up there, but they were in a good position. He didn't have any opportunity to just walk onto the ball there. It was under his feet, so maybe the wrong decision there. Even though it was on target, it was an easy save. 40
seconds to play. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Saliba on the ball for Arsenal inside his own half. Jorginho to his right, plays it to him. Jorginho forward to Saka, back to Saliba. Saliba across the halfway line, sees Martinelli, bit of space on the left, doesn't get the pass quite right. Gusto heads it out for an Arsenal throw.
Yep, just make sure the referee is not checking for a penalty all the way back to that Raheem Sterling one, but he isn't.
Right, closing seconds of the first half here at Stamford Bridge. Rain still falling. Referee puts the whistle to his lips, and the Chelsea fans give their team a standing ovation, because at half-time they lead unbeaten Arsenal in the Premier League so far this season by 1-0, and they're pretty good for that, I think, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, there have been a few games at Stamford Bridge this season where Chelsea have played well and haven't got the just desserts. Everybody is talking about it. Even Arteta was talking about it before the game. They're probably, I would say, in the first 20 minutes, they're the better team by some distance. Arsenal have come back into it much more in the second part of this first half. However, over the piece, I think Chelsea, if anyone deserves to be ahead, it's probably Chelsea, but it's much more even now, and you can see in this second half with the tactical adaptations and the changes that will be made, this game is a long way from finished, and there's a lot of good players out there that can make a difference. Which is exactly why you've got to tune back in for the second half. The difference between the two teams, 5 Live and BBC Sounds live here at Stamford Bridge, a Cole Palmer penalty. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 0. Chelsea leading Arsenal by 1-0. Arsenal unbeaten in the Premier League so far this season. Mikel Arteta has already made the change, and Tomiyasu, you can see, tall Japanese defender, is in that central midfield role that Zinchenko is floating into. So that is the one change at half-time, Pat. Yeah, it is the one change, but Zinchenko, or should we say the yellow-carded Zinchenko, which was another reason you'd have to consider taking him off. He was getting run at and he was getting beaten for pace by Sterling once or twice. But certainly, with Chelsea not playing with an out-and-out striker, do you really need, a back four in the conventional sense with 2 centre-backs with no one to mark? That means you give up, you cede the midfield. Well, that's not something Mikel Arteta wants to happen. So, you're right, that's why Tomiyasu's gone in there. Arsenal in the shirts with the red bodies, white sleeves, white shorts, red socks, playing from right to left towards the travelling fans in that left-hand section of the shed end. Away to our left-hand side. Chelsea have robbed Odegaard of possession. Conor Gallagher goes sprinting away down the left. Mudryk flying past him at speed, gives him a shout. Mudryk has the ball at his feet. Cross it towards the far post. Oh, it's ended up in the back of the net! I think he meant that as well! Incredible goal from Mykhailo Mudryk. Wide on the left-hand side. Takes his opportunity. Leaves David Raya floundering. And Chelsea lead Arsenal by 2-0. What a strike! you know, Arsenal are shell-shocked there. They've tried to come back out with a positive attitude here. They caught the wing. It actually was a poor ball to Mudryk there, and it was behind him slightly. I'm not going to agree with you, Alice. No, I don't think he meant it. No, it's a chip for a goal. I think he meant to put that into the back post there for somebody to go and attack it. He's got a little bit lucky, but you put it into a dangerous area and sometimes it drops in. But he will be having his teammates saying, claim it, see you meant it.
Right, I'm waiting for the post-match interviews. Pat, you've played the game, you'll know far more than me. I'm sure you're absolutely right. Mudryk won't care. Second goal of the season, and it does look like an absolute belter, whether he meant it or not. I think particularly when you score one like that and the keeper is sort of arms and legs everywhere, flat on his back.
Shall I give you the giveaway, right?
Yeah.
That's the absolute giveaway. You watch his eyes all the way through before he kicks the ball.
Yeah.
And at no point does he look at the goal. All the way through it, he looks up to see who's in the middle, looks in the middle. He never looks at the goal at any point.
It's the bluff, Pat. It's the no look.
Even Bobby Charlton might not have managed that.
Chelsea are in the mood. They lead Arsenal by 2-0. They're coming forward again, and David Raya's under pressure. Sterling closes in. Raya plays a low ball to Jorginho. Very nearly loses it. Does lose it, but he's fouled by Cole Palmer. Let's get you through the teams then at the start of the second half. Arsenal have taken their free kick quickly. Robert Sanchez in goal for Chelsea. Gusto, Thiago Silva, Colwill and Cucurella. Chelsea's back four. Thiago Silva, one of those Chelsea players like Cole Palmer on a yellow card. Gallagher, Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Palmer through the middle, essentially with Mudryk and Sterling as the wide men. Chelsea fans, as you can hear, in fine voice. Saka taking on Cucurella. That was a good battle in the first time. This time Saka gets past Cucurella but runs into Conor Gallagher, and Chelsea work it around the Arsenal players. Colwill tries to bring it out of his own penalty area. Back to Cucurella. He's lost it to Saka. Saka inside the box looking for the cut back here. Gets it back. Jorginho's cross into the far post. Jesus can't get the header away. Tomiyasu runs towards it. I think caught Sterling, didn't get the ball. Sterling's down. Plays allowed to continue. Here's Martinelli. Tries to beat Gusto on the outside. Back onto his right foot. Both Chelsea fullbacks doing a great job actually on the Arsenal wingers so far in the game, Pat.
Absolutely, it's been a massive part of the game because those two players usually are very, very important for Arsenal, and they've got no change whatsoever in this game so far. But I keep on underlining it, so far. You only need to get by them once.
5 minutes gone in the second half. 5 Live and BBC Sounds full commentary on England, South Africa, playing for a place in the Rugby Union World Cup final, kicking off at 8 o'clock this evening. That's on the way. Sonia McLaughlin and the team taken over from 7:30. Here's Martinelli wide on the left, right-footed cross in towards the far post, headed straight up in the air by Silva. Gallagher with the next header behind him. Caicedo leaps in and nods it away. Silva, Saliba cushions a little pass across to Gabriel. Silva doesn't even play for Arsenal. Here's Tomiyasu to Jorginho. Now he's eyeing up the goal from a long way out, but he's not going to hit that one. Ben White. Wide to Saka. Oh, Saka's done Cucurella this time. Nice little shoulder shake. Cross with the right foot. Sanchez has a flap at it with his right hand. It'll run to Martinelli. Martinelli's got Gusto behind him. He's just escorted out of the penalty area, trying to get back into that box and force a rash challenge perhaps. Gabriel to Jorginho, quickly round the corner. Saliba lines it up. Instead of hitting the shot, tries to slide one through to Ødegaard. Well played by Chelsea to bring it out. Mudryk with a scoop pass towards the halfway line. Sterling holds off Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu seems to be all over Sterling. Doesn't get the free kick, the Chelsea man.
Beyond me why the assistant referee doesn't get that. He's 5 yards away from it. We're 50 yards away from it. We can see it.
Ben White plays to Ødegaard. So not desperation about Arsenal, but definitely an urgency now. They are 2-0 down here to Chelsea. And the ball is played across to Gabriel, who had to race in because I don't think that pass was initially meant for him. I'll give you that Arsenal team in just a second. Here's Saliba. Chelsea ringing out around Stamford Bridge. They sense something is brewing here under the tutelage of Mauricio Pochettino. Cucurella in with another interception. Caicedo's lost it. Chance for Arsenal. Rice feeds Martinelli into the box, trying to work it onto the right foot. Still moving. Shots deflected beyond the far post and behind for a corner.
We're just talking about how well Chelsea fullbacks have been doing so far, and then just in the last couple of minutes, Saka's got by his fullback once. Martinelli's come in there, had a decent attempt on goal, and that's what the Arsenal wingers have to keep on doing. It doesn't matter if you've not got by him. Keep on doing it. Keep on trying different things.
So 7.5 minutes gone second half. Chelsea now leading 2-0. Mudryk with that second goal just after the break, but a corner for Arsenal. Saka jogs on the spot, runs to the ball, slips as he takes it in deep. Sanchez swipes it away with his right hand, feels he was fouled, goes behind for another corner.
Very noticeable in the back post there. Arsenal tried to get it there, but two players, Tomiyasu and Gabriel, that were at the back post there, only marked by one, Caicedo. And they've obviously worked on that. They've done it again.
Yeah.
They've got a 2-on-1 and the two big centre halves that can go and attack it.
Right, the referee's blown his whistle just to delay the taking of this corner by Martinelli wide on the left, and he's come in to have a word with Jesus and Cucurella.
Right, I'll have a word with you about that afterwards.
Okay.
I would ban that. Referee's doing that. I'll tell you why in a moment.
Okay, good. Corner for Arsenal. They're trailing 2-0. Martinelli again aims for that far post. There's the header and wide it goes, and it's exactly what you were talking about, Pat. Gabriel got good contact on the ball, couldn't get it on target.
It's strange when you can see it from here that it's the obvious weakness, it's the obvious danger area, and it happens twice in a row and they've not done anything about it. You'd think in the middle there someone like Thiago Silva would be saying, right, okay, we need to change this, we need to adapt it, we need to get a little bit of help at the back post there. It'd be interesting to see if Pochettino spotted that and changed it. Right, here my idea. Referees go and say, stop doing this, stop doing that. Why? If you're fouling, you're fouling. Give a foul, give a penalty kick. There's no need to
what if it's 6 of one and half a dozen of another?
It doesn't matter. You're not there to tell them not to do it. You're there to referee the match. So if I had to make a change, there is no point in you doing that. You're there trying to stop a foul. No, in actual fact, you're there to referee the game when a foul happens.
I'm going to put something else to you, Pat, which is totally different. It's just popped into my head of what you said ahead of this game as we were previewing this match. You said, I think, something like Chelsea were waiting for a game like this for an opportunity to prove themselves, and at the moment they're doing that, aren't they, tonight, against really good opponents?
Yeah, and this was the test this season. You know, I know they had Liverpool early in the season, but they weren't absolutely at the strongest. But this is the test they've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Do you know what? They haven't looked spooked by it in any way whatsoever. By the way, do you know the one thing that does happen when the referee stops to play a corner kick?
Go on.
Cameras go on.
What? Dramas, did you say?
Cameras go on the referee.
Yes. Tomiyasu's lost it inside the Chelsea half. Gusto brings it away. Gusto tries to flick it round Declan Rice. Rice is too clever for that. His pass down the left finds Martinelli. Arsenal needing to find a way back into the game. Martinelli heading for the byline. Caicedo follows, blocks the cross. Pressure just building on Chelsea here, though. Corner for Arsenal.
Yeah, this is tough in Arsenal because they actually have started the second half really well. It's only been one breakaway from Chelsea and they've managed to get the goal at it, but they'll get themselves into great positions on the right hand side and on the left hand side, Arsenal. So whatever Arteta said at half time, they've played better because of it.
Corner for Arsenal then, trailing 2-0. Encouragement from those Arsenal fans beside Martinelli. In it comes, headed away by Cucurella. On the volley, Jorginho scuffs it slightly, into the box it goes. Blocked, Tomiyasu hits it off balance, slices it, he's claiming corner, but no, it's given as a goal kick.
You know, very impressive. You know, you see that weakness they had at the corner twice in a row there? And Chelsea have sussed it for this corner.
Oh, yeah.
They got Gallagher to go by there alongside Caicedo, who had been on his own beforehand. I mean, that's the sign of a team, and tactically they know what they're doing.
That should have been a corner, by the way.
Yeah,
Tomiyasu was right. That was Caicedo. It just glanced off him. It wasn't on target, and it wasn't a great shot, but he was absolutely right. Chelsea lead Arsenal by 2-0. Match of the day tonight, BBC One at 10:20, which I think will give you time to listen to England-South Africa at the Rugby Union World Cup in full, and then it will just take you straight in with your glass of red pat or whatever.
I will not miss that.
No.
It's actually the final stages have been brilliant, genuinely, haven't they?
Yeah. Quarter-final weekend was absolutely incredible, and New Zealand obviously took Argentina to task last night. Ball given away by Raya. Cole Palmer round him. Oh, Raya does brilliantly to recover. Saves at Palmer's feet. I thought that was 3-0 for certain. Raya played himself into trouble and somehow scrambles Arsenal out of it.
Do you know, we did mention earlier, he's not looked good in the ball today at all, at any point, and that is awful, that one. You should never play that pass. Had it got through to his teammate, he was marked anyway.
Yeah.
He never even got there.
So Aaron Ramsdale watching from afar, not on the bench today, but it's just that kind of thing. Mikel Arteta talking about sort of goalkeeper rotation that just makes you wonder.
He's not been good in the ball. His passing from the back has been extremely poor. You have to call it the way it is.
Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0. Corner for Chelsea, swung in deep to the far post. Palmer volleys it back, headed back across goal. Oh, header over the bar, what an opportunity. Colwell was lurking, it would have been offside, wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, but I mean, Chelsea have done the same thing. They've got the player to go around the back post, trying a little bit of a block to make sure that no one was marking round. Palmer came from that very, very deep area, and there is no doubt the assistant referee got that right. It was or would have been offside.
Arsenal then playing out from the back. They've got just over half an hour to try and get something out of this game, otherwise it's going to be a first Premier League defeat of the season for them. And Chelsea will dearly love that, a win that will take them up to 8th place in the table and make it 4 wins in a row in all competitions for them. Here's White wide on the right. Next up for Chelsea, Brentford at home. For Arsenal, of course, Champions League football on the way in the week, away to Sevilla, which is a big one, having lost the last one away to Lens. Now Saka stops there. Saka had beaten Cucurella. He was dragged back by him. He could have kept going. He just stopped, turned, complained to the referee and got the free kick.
He's tried to put a little bit of pressure on the referee to say Cucurella's getting too close. What Saka needs is Cucurella booked just now.
Yeah.
Because if Cucurella's booked, he can't get that tight anymore. He can't get close. He can't take chances anymore. And I know why Saka did that. That actually is quite intelligent for Saka.
As if to say, right, one more of those.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah.
Had he kept on going there, he was away from Cucurella, but he was running into traffic. Whereas now, just watch. Cucurella, next one, he'll be carded.
Okay. Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino, I think he knows what's gone on there as well. He looks pensive. Just marshalling the Chelsea defence from afar as well. An Arsenal free kick to defend. Chelsea leading Arsenal by 2-0. Referee Chris Kavanagh steps in again just to try and move players apart on the edge of the box. Ødegaard with his left foot curls it in. Sanchez comes a long way, ran into Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's header over the bar. Arsenal want a penalty for the challenge on Tomiyasu as he went for the header, or Jesus who's flat on his back. It was a right old collision of bodies in there.
And was it Wolves, Man United, earlier in the season?
Onana.
I think it was, yeah. And the keeper comes, and if you come like that and don't get the ball, he's kind of hoping at this point you hit your own player, because if he's hit an opponent, there's not a lot in it. I think he's just missed Tomiyasu's head.
He's missed Tomiyasu. He's actually run into Jesus, hasn't he? So he's trying to punch the ball. He's missed Tomiyasu with the punch, and it's his body.
They'll be looking at that.
Yeah.
They'll absolutely be looking at it. I'm not sure that was the cause of the injury. But if you're a goalkeeper, you come out and you take out an opponent and don't get the ball. It doesn't matter if that opponent was going to get the ball or not. That is not the issue. The issue is, well, you fouled the opponent while not getting the ball. That's the rule.
Okay, well, let's wait and see what the video assistant referee Jared Gillett thinks of that one. At the moment, Gabriel Jesus is still sitting down and receiving treatment.
I have a suspicion they won't give the penalty for this one, because it's not clear the way they want it, the rules when it was the last minute, wasn't it, against Manchester United with Onana, which was a dreadful error by the officials, and given the due, the officials owned up to it, and certainly that's what we want to hear. When mistakes are made, hands go up and they say, yeah, look, we'll try and get that right from now on.
Former Chelsea winger, Everton winger, Scotland international Pat Nevin with us on 5 Live in BBC Sounds. 2 more football commentaries coming your way tomorrow. From the Scottish Premiership, Hearts Celtic kicks off at 2:15 tomorrow. James McFadden providing the analysis alongside commentator Mark Scott, and then I will be at Villa Park tomorrow. I think this one looked good in the Premier League at 4:30, Villa West Ham. We've also got full commentary on the US Grand Prix at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and right now over on Sports Extra you've got commentary on the sprint shootout ahead of that US Grand Prix, with boxing to follow on Sports Extra tonight at 10 o'clock. Jack Catterall against Jorge Linares, the bout in full on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0. Rain has finally stopped this evening. Ball is driven forward by Chelsea. Tomiyasu is able to chest it down. Obviously no penalty given for the challenge on Gabriel Jesus. The collision between Sanchez and Jesus, and Arsenal have the ball inside their own half, and they've been having a good spell of pressure in the second half, and if they can find a way through, then that will certainly test Chelsea in the closing stages of the game. Gabriel, left-footed pass back to Saliba, forward to Jorginho, back to Gabriel, all inside the Arsenal half. Declan Rice arms out wide, saying, right, what have I got? Who's going to make a run for me?
Do you know what? You're absolutely right, and that's important. That because not enough people are making enough runs for Declan Rice. He's everywhere, he's all over the picture, trying to lift his teammates. He's not getting as much reaction as he expects, you know. Certainly, I mentioned before, Odegaard, you really haven't talked about. You've had the mention.
No.
He cannot get into this game or have any great effect in the game so far. Again, Saka, second best against Cucurella most of the time. The creative players so far for Arsenal have been snuffed.
Great chasing from Conor Gallagher to try and win it off Saliba. Gallagher got the last touch. It'll be a throw in for Chelsea in their right back position. Cole Palmer with the penalty in the first half, and Mikhailo Mudryk with the cross / shot from wide on the left that ended up in the back of the net in the second half. Caicedo clips one with his right foot to Sterling, backpedaling, controls it on his left thigh, gives it to Gusto, those two linking nicely. Gusto, ball in field to Caicedo, gives it to Gusto again, making Arsenal chase at the moment, with time running out for Mikel Arteta's team. Mauricio Pochettino applauds, unbeaten in 6 Premier League home games against Arsenal as a Premier League manager. Mauricio Pochettino getting ready to make another change as well. Nicholas Jackson is going to come on for Chelsea, which will give them a bit more of a presence through the middle, Pat.
Absolutely, and you know, looking at Chelsea just now, they are sitting back a little bit, but they're managing it pretty well so far. Limited chances for Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal famously are very good. They finish well, they get stronger as the game goes on. But at the moment, it's not looking at chances, but we shall see.
Tomiyasu looking to use the pace of Martinelli down the left. Martinelli slips, still has the ball. Gusto in front of him, just inside the penalty area. Does get a good crossing. Cucurella's there, heads it behind for a corner. Couldn't take a chance there. Didn't quite know what was going on behind him. High fives all round from the Chelsea defenders.
Yeah, but he got himself in the right position, Cucurella. You get yourself into where the biggest danger is if you're that full-back, and he did that there. And right now, the scorer of that great stroke, Lucky goal, Mudryk, is coming off, and real reception from the Chelsea fans.
Pat, this is what you were saying about Cucurella in the first half as well. Here's a man as well, young man, who struggled to settle at Chelsea and find his form, and it's this kind of thing that's going to make him feel a whole lot better.
You know, you do try to think back to your own career. I remember one club I went to, and I had almost the identical goal that was scored there by Mudryk as my first goal for that club, and suddenly it flew from there. And I know Mudryk's has scored already, but suddenly if you scored a home goal and it looks good, you really lift it.
Did you claim afterwards that you meant it?
I did 30 years later.
Corner for Arsenal. Chelsea leading by 2-0, just 25 minutes to play. Manchester City on top of the Premier League table this evening after their 2-1 win against Brighton earlier on. Corner then to be taken by Saka from the right with his left foot, driven hard to the far post. Gabriel's header is blocked, well blocked by Thiago Silva, nodded down by Colwill, taken off him by Martinelli. There's a wall of blue in front of him though. Martinelli, couple of tricks, rolls it to Rice. Cole Palmer behind him, played to Gabriel, laid off to Martinelli, little flip ball with his right foot. Palmer volleys it away. Martinelli caught him as he cleared. The referee wants to play an advantage because Sterling's got the ball, plays in Nicholas Jackson. Jackson's one-on-one, the angle's tight, tries to go round Raya, and Raya grabs it at his feet.
Good goalkeeping there. He didn't dive in, he stood up. You know, some goalkeepers panic in that position and could give away a penalty kick. But what a difference immediately what Chelsea try to do, use a piece of Jackson. It's working.
Game just opening up a little bit in this second half. Saka against Cucurella. Saka's ball finds Jorginho, looking for the run of Saka again. Cross comes in, looking for Jesus. That is brilliant defending from Thiago Silva to block the cross.
It's very Thiago Silva, isn't it? He knows the danger position, just what I was saying about Cucurella a moment before.
Odegaard, corner of the Chelsea penalty area. Definite threat from Arsenal here, but Chelsea do have the 2-goal cushion. Gabriel, pass out wide to Martinelli. Tomiyasu tries to support. Martinelli's tackled by Gusto. Jackson lays it into the path of Palmer. Palmer looks behind him, doesn't see anyone there. A couple of Arsenal players on him, and now Mikel Arteta is getting ready to make a couple of changes himself. Eddie Nketiah and Emile Smith-Rowe are going to be on for Arsenal shortly.
Yeah, kind of slightly surprised me. I was looking down 5 minutes ago thinking, yeah, I think you need to make some changes now. It's finally happening. Maybe no surprise, other than it's taking a little while longer than I thought.
Yeah, Jesus off and Nketiah on, and Jorginho off Emile Smith-Rowe on. So a third substitute appearance in the Premier League this season for Emile Smith-Rowe, who missed so much of last season with a groin injury, then had that fabulous tournament for England, helping them win the Euros, the under-21s win the Euros in the summer. Last goal he scored, actually, for Arsenal was here at Stamford Bridge in a 4-2 win in April 2022. Gusto charging forward for Chelsea. They're looking for a third. Here's Palmer. Palmer's got a lovely glide about him when he moves with the ball. A step over inside the box, just let it run too far. Tomiyasu gets his body in the way. That'll be a goal kick for Arsenal.
Right, that's a good description of the way he does move. There's an elegance about the way that Palmer does move, and it's again, it still surprises me that it was literally Manchester City, I have to say. I know it's financial fair play, I know because he's a homegrown player, that's more value when you sell them for that FFP, but the type of player he is just always surprises. The team lets him go.
Tomiyasu's ball up to Nketiah. Nketiah wasn't strong enough there to hold off Silva. It's come back to Robert Sanchez. Just over 20 minutes to play. Chelsea leading 2-0. 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and we'll be in Paris straight after the game, building up to our commentary of England against South Africa in the Rugby Union World Cup semi-final tonight. A repeat of the final 4 years ago, which South Africa won. Thiago Silva.
The fans noticed your commentary there. The brilliant tackle by Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
They're singing his name since.
Here's Cucurella, attacking position for Chelsea, on the left, looking for an option. He's inside the Arsenal box, fires the cross in, Jackson to Sterling. Sterling just stopped in his tracks by Gabriel, teeing himself up for a shot, 7 yards out.
I've got to say, well done to Mike Cucurella. He's defended really well. But that pass there, and it wasn't a cross, it was a pass. He waited and waited and waited until the deep line midfielder ran onto it, and it was brilliant. Very unlucky not to get a goal from it.
Chelsea finding some spaces. A third goal surely will kill this game. Gallagher slipped and lost the ball. Smith-Rowe's going to get a first touch of the evening. Socks rolled down as ever. Bright orange boots. And his red and white Arsenal kit. That's a risky pass, and Chelsea have won it. Here's Palmer, goes for the curler. It's wide. Well wide. Goal kick for Arsenal.
Haven't we seen Palmer doing that at Wembley once before? He didn't quite get a curl on it there.
Goal kick taken quickly. David Raya spots an opportunity. Arsenal trying to work it down the right. Saka's down. Cucurella's made the challenge, and the referee is going to give him a yellow card. And Cucurella's not even bothered with the referee. He's going over to the assistant referee and says, well, what did you see there?
Did we mention that he might get a yellow card after his next tackle? Now, let's see, he's going to do it. Yeah, he's going to do it. And honestly, it was such a stick on. You can read this a mile ahead. Yeah. As soon as Saka did that in the last tackle, all Saka has to do is go down the next time he comes near him, and it will be a yellow. And he knew exactly what he was doing. Now, I'm just watching it again here. And do you know what? Yeah, no, he gets him. Yeah. Do you know what? I'll say the referee, he's probably got it right. Yeah. It's another film. Well done.
Words of wisdom.
When you're wrong, you know, to be honest, he was going to get it anyway.
Yeah.
But he probably deserved it.
But he probably knew he was going to get it, so he thought, well, why don't I just get it for this one? Get it out of the way. Here's Cucurella on the ball. Saka's trying to take it off him. He's very calm under pressure there, and Chelsea have played out well. Caicedo with strength holds off Smith-Rowe, and the ball is played wide right to Cole Palmer. We're now into the last 20 minutes of this game. Chelsea still leading Arsenal by 2 goals to nil, and to this point, and I know there's still a fair bit of football to be played, they have done a really good job on Arsenal. Ball forward to Sterling. That's a little shove in the back from Ben White, but Sterling back to Gallagher via Cucurella, cross to Colwill to Silva inside the Chelsea half, and Nketiah closes in. Silva plays it wide right to Palmer, lays it off to Gusto. Martinelli senses a chance to try and win this back, and Gusto goes back to his goalkeeper Sanchez to Gusto, under pressure in the right back position, finds Silva forward to Caicedo. Caicedo is clipped. Free kick for Chelsea. Let's take it to Bramall Lane. 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. Sheffield United against Manchester United, and John Bennett has the team news. Thank you, John. Paul Robinson sitting alongside John for updates this evening. They will come during the commentary of that Rugby Union World Cup semi-final, and all those Manchester United fans there, of course, wanting to pay their respects to the great Sir Bobby Charlton. We learnt of his passing earlier on this afternoon. One of English football's greatest ever players, World Cup winner, European Cup winner, will be fondly remembered. There will, of course, be fulsome tributes to him at Old Trafford next Tuesday. That will be an emotional one, and we've got full commentary. We'll be there that night. Manchester United against FC Copenhagen in the Champions League on Wednesday. We're at St James's Park for full commentary of Newcastle against Borussia Dortmund. At the moment, though, we're live at Stamford Bridge, and I think we're looking at potentially, well, we're definitely looking at potentially Arsenal's first Premier League defeat of the season. They've not been able to find a way to break Chelsea down. They're going to try again now. Rice to Smith Rowe, wide to Martinelli. Martinelli decides not to take Gusto on, plays it back into midfield, and Rice is going to spread the play wide to Saka. Saka against Cucurella has just got to be that little bit more careful. Saka brings it infield. Cucurella bussing around, not letting him rest at all. Saliba's there. Saliba pokes it to Saka. Saka's still herring away down the left-hand side. Ball's gone out of play. Just ran it over the touchline. Throw in for Arsenal.
Must have been very, very tight, that Arsenal having to take a few chances there. And with the speed of Sterling, with Jackson in front of them, they weren't going to catch them.
Ball spread wide beautifully again by Rice. Finds Martinelli. Martinelli will take Gusto on. Trying to beat him on the outside. Turns inside the penalty area. Couple of back heels. There's two Chelsea players there now. Cole Palmer has come back to help. Martinelli holds on to it. Back to Gabriel. Then Rice. Gabriel again wide on the left for Chelsea. Great tackle by Gallagher. And then Gallagher caught by Gabriel, because Gabriel was worried Gallagher was going to get away with the ball. And that'll be a free kick for Chelsea. The other thing I meant to mention, by the way, Pat, right at the start of the game, Justin Rose, Ryder Cup golfer, one of the winning European team of the Ryder Cup, is in the house tonight. Chelsea fan, I believe, wouldn't have enjoyed the shanks in the first half from Levi Colwill.
Because it did. There's been a few more apart from that. And the keepers haven't let us down either. Before you say any more about you and I playing golf.
No, well, that's true, Pat. Although I know you're in a rich vein of form at the moment, aren't you? I know. I actually saw Justin Rose hit a shank this year, so he probably can't be too high and mighty about it. That was on the third fairway at Hoylake. I mean, you very rarely see the pros do it. A proper one off the pipe, wide right, and then, of course, the next one was absolutely pinpoint perfect.
Trying to get a bogey.
Yeah, exactly. Martinelli towards Nketiah. 15 minutes to play. Chelsea 15 minutes away from a really good win against the team they always desperately want to beat. Good tackle on Nketiah. Now here's Thiago Silva. Silva just chips one forward into the Chelsea half. Gabriel leaps in with the challenge on Jackson. Enzo Fernandez, clever ball. Finds Gallagher. Gallagher lays it off to Cucurella. Pat.
Yeah, just looking at Thiago Silva again there. Honestly, somebody check that guy's birth certificate. It's ridiculous. He's cruising, and listen to this crowd. They know how classy he is, and he has. One or two people said to me before the game they thought he's beginning to go a little bit rusty. It was maybe going. Maybe not. Not today anyway.
And what a player to have in there with all these young players around him. Cole Palmer's one of them. To Silva. That's lovely football. Silva's first time pass to Gusto. Fabulous flowing move from Chelsea. Caicedo back to Gusto. Back heel into the path of Gallagher. This could be a very, very special team goal. Caicedo now opens it up wide to the left-hand side. Cucurella controls it on the half volley. Then the cross comes in. Stretching clearance from Saliba. Back it comes to Colwill. And in turn to Silva. Chelsea fans love that. Playing with a real confidence, this Chelsea team now, leading Arsenal by 2-0. He epitomises it, actually, young Palmer as well for Chelsea.
What's very noticeable is that, the third man runs, the way one player just, if it goes one way, his teammate won't make the obvious run and run behind him and beyond him to draw, space away from the third man, time and again. That either A, takes a long time, or B, it's just players that enjoy playing each other and helping each other out. It's very noticeable. It's beginning to gel.
Ball given away. Declan Rice shoots and scores for Arsenal. They're back in the game. Robert Sanchez playing out from the back, knocks it into empty space. Fabulous opportunism from Declan Rice, and all of a sudden Arsenal have a lifeline. He's whacked it in from 30 yards. Sanchez knew he was beaten. The Chelsea keeper at fault. It's Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1.
I mean, how bad have both keepers been with playing the ball out there? The ball he played in there was miles away from its target there. Zip past him, trying to see who it was. It might have been Enzo who was aimed towards it. But too much pass, straight past him there. And you just have to put your hands up. You're goalkeeper, you've tried to play it to the back and you've blown it completely.
I know this is going to sound a silly thing to say, but that's a great finish, isn't it? It's an open goal, but he's a long way out, and Sanchez is coming back across. That's a really good finish.
And you can't take any more than one touch. You need to go for it first time. He's gone for it first time, and he was very, very calm about it. Now, suddenly, they've got changes that have been made, a couple of changes have been made. Kai Havertz, who didn't get a great reception there.
No.
He's coming on possibly for Odegaard.
He scored the winner in a Champions League final, pal.
I know,
didn't he?
Beyond me.
Martinelli and Odegaard off. Thank you, George, our producer. He's on it. Trossard and Havertz on. Kai Havertz, former Chelsea man, of course, scoring that winning goal in the Champions League final 2021 to beat Manchester City.
He's almost one of the worst things that Chelsea want to see just now is Kai Havertz, because if there is a weakness, you look around that team, they're not tall. It's not the tallest Chelsea team, and Havertz is phenomenal at coming in from deep areas. So it's all about, I think, getting the ball in areas, crossing in for Havertz to get to. They might get something out of this game yet, Arsenal.
It's given us a really intriguing finish here. 12 minutes to play, taking you through until the end. Then we're handing over to Sonia McLaughlin ahead of England, South Africa Rugby Union World Cup semi-final tonight, kicking off at 8 o'clock. Chelsea were 2-0 up. Nottingham Forest were 2-0 up against Luton earlier on today, and that one ended 2-2. So let's see what Chelsea have got from here in terms of nerve and composure and trying to close this one out. Cucurella's kept the ball in play on the halfway line. Saka in late on Fernandes. Advantage played. Gallagher plays the ball down the left. Sterling in the mood, zipping towards these Arsenal defenders. Step over, tries to get the cross in. That's blocked by Ben White. Goes behind for a Chelsea corner.
He gets such a lift, doesn't he, when he changes rings sometimes. Raheem Sterling, he looks much more comfortable over on the left, coming in on his right hand side, knowing that he could have shot and he's stronger foot if he comes in inside. So it's made a little bit of difference because he's on the ball.
In fact, he's not in the latest England squad recently, Paddy. That just shows you in those positions the strength and depth England have is crazy.
Absolutely. You don't get the game easily for England now. You don't get in the squad easily for England now. But there's a space there. If you make sure that you're playing well every single week and putting the pressure on the manager, he's had a better game than Saka so far.
Yeah, true. Corner for Chelsea. They lead 2-1. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Corner's going to come in from the left. Whipped in, bouncing ball, beats absolutely everyone. Cole Palmer's there wide on the right to collect for Chelsea, wants to get it onto that left foot, plays it back to Gusto. Gusto's cross into the far post, too close to David Raya. Chance for Arsenal to try and come on the counter. 10 minutes to play. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, and a brilliant finish to the game. There was a real confidence about the Chelsea team and the Chelsea support before now, but I'm not saying it's all going away, but there's a nervousness around this stadium just now, and rightly so. I mentioned earlier on in the commentary, Arsenal always finish strong. Well, let's see if they can finish strong enough.
Ball from Saliba into midfield, puts Rice under pressure. Rice handles it, half tackled by Fernandes. Eventually ball goes out for a throw into Arsenal, and now that nervousness from the Chelsea fans turns into a sort of excitation, and up on their feet they get and trying to roar their team towards the finish line. Ben White getting ready to take the throw. All the football scores today, reports and everything, of course, as ever, there for you on the BBC Sport website, Football Daily podcast as well. Just get on that BBC Sounds app, search for the Football Daily and click subscribe, and you'll get everything you need in there. Match of the day tonight, BBC One at 10:20. No 6:06 tonight, of course, because we're straight into the rugby for England against South Africa. But you'll have your chance to have your say on the weekend's events and possibly pay tribute to the late great Sir Bobby Charlton. His death sadly announced today. You might have your chance to have your say with Chris and Robbie on 6:06 tomorrow night after our commentary of Aston Villa against West Ham. Throw in Chelsea, attacking position on the left. So they've decided the way the Chelsea fans are going to handle the nerves with singing, Pat, I think.
Yeah, they get behind the team, that's what they're trying to do, but they might need a little bit of help here. I noticed just down on the bench there that Reece James had his top off now. That would be good news for England as well.
Yeah.
Although another position that England aren't exactly struggling in.
Chelsea have won it. Here's Conor Gallagher. Can he finish the game? No, he can't. He stumbles. Arsenal clearance goes straight to Caicedo. Ball comes to Cole Palmer. Back it goes to Gusto. Win for Chelsea puts them in 8th spot on 14 points. 2 points behind Brighton, Villa and Newcastle. Brighton, who lost at Manchester City today. Newcastle thumped Crystal Palace by 4-0. Sterling hooks across him from the left, but behind it goes for a goal kick. Top of the table, Manchester City 21 points, Liverpool on 20 after their win in the Merseyside derby, and Tottenham play on Monday night this week They're at home against Fulham. Updates on that one into the Monday Night Club with Mark Chapman and the team. They are also on 20 points, Arsenal on 20. So, double change for Chelsea. You're probably hearing that being announced over the tannoy as I speak. Raheem Sterling and Cole Palmer both have played really well for Chelsea tonight. They are going to be coming off. Reece James is coming on, as Pat mentioned, and Noni Madueke, who had a fabulous time for England's under-21s during the international break. 3 goals in 2 games, scored 2 in the 9-1 win against Serbia at the City Ground, and scored again despite England losing to Ukraine in the second of those qualifiers. Big roar for Cole Palmer. He got the scoring started today from the penalty spot in the first half. Reece James back in action for Chelsea. Struggles with injuries so badly. Lovely to see him back. Yeah,
it's great to see him back, and he's such an important person, a player for Chelsea over the years that he's been in the team, and also club skipper as well.
Yes,
it's a big thing to have back, but he's been brought on not as a wing back, but basically as a right midfielder.
Long ball knocked down by Havertz, nearly ran to Nketiah. 2-1. Here's Havertz on the ball. Little pocket of space just outside the Chelsea penalty area. Goes wide to Saka. Saka on his left foot. Gets an early cross in forward. Trossard. Oh, he scored! Brilliant goal from Leandro Trossard. And Arsenal have done it. Back from 2-0 down. Saka's cross. Trossard had already set off. Slides in on the volley with the right foot. The Arsenal fans go berserk in the shed end, and it's Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2.
I mean, it's a brilliant cross ball in from the left-hand side there. Since the start of the second half, after they lost the goal, Arsenal have been getting down those lines. They've been getting into dangerous positions, and they know that they are strong finishers, and they were just waiting for that chance to come. I have to admit, I got something slightly wrong there. I thought it'd be Havertz, but it's the other substitute. He's come on, and his finishing is perfect there, but Arsenal have never given up. They had ball played out to the right-hand side, and instead of putting an early one in, takes it on his left foot, and just for a moment, for the first time, I would say Gusto turns off.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed.
He looked after Martinelli so brilliantly all the time Martinelli was on the field, and then that change of personnel.
I keep on saying that phrase, you only need to do it once.
Yes, you're right.
If you're a winger, that's all you need. Because you can lose 10 battles in a row, but if you do one that makes a goal, scores a goal, then you've won the day.
Could still get a winner in this game for either team. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2 as a contest. It hasn't disappointed. Long ball over the top, and Nketiah chasing. Nketiah gets the shot away, just wide. Just got there ahead of Thiago Silva. Robert Sanchez was worried. It was a really clever improvised finish from Nketiah. He just couldn't quite find the far corner.
You know, and the chase back that Thiago Silva had to do there, when you see him having to put absolutely everything into those sort of sprints, I mean, you do worry about his hamstrings.
Yeah.
He's got himself in a decent position there, eventually making probably enough of a challenge to put Nketiah slightly off and doesn't get it on target with any power.
Great effort though, Pat, wasn't it? Just to fashion the shot.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the pace there. I mean, we talk about how good Thiago Silva is, but look, he's not lightning.
No.
He can't be at that age. His intelligence gets him out of it. So if you can get him in a foot race, that's what you try and do, and Nketiah managed it there.
Taking you to Paris shortly on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. England against South Africa Rugby Union World Cup semi-final. If you've been listening to any of our commentaries during the tournament, don't miss that one this evening. I've definitely got it on in the car on the way home. But still plenty of football to be played here first. This is Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. And unfortunately for Robert Sanchez, it was his mistake that gifted Arsenal the way back into the game, gave them the encouragement. They had been playing well in the second half, and now they've got it back to 2-2. Silva heads it back to his goalkeeper, Sanchez.
I was just before Sanchez did that, I was explaining how well the Chelsea players are working with each other. Their passing was comfortable, they're moving with each other. But he's a keeper. And the mistakes this season from the keeper's penalty back is by a distance the most I've ever seen. By a distance.
Right, Chelsea attacking opportunity. They've won a throw on the right. Reece James has got the ball in his hands. What are we into the 87th minute of this game. Pulsating Premier League encounter. 2 more commentaries on the way tomorrow. Hearts Celtic 2:15, Villa West Ham 4:30, and then Champions League commentaries next week, Tuesday night and Wednesday night on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Ben White on the ball for Arsenal. Plays it to Saliba inside his own half. Wide to Rice. Here's Havertz. Havertz got Cucurella behind him. Does well to hold him off. Tries to find Saka in field. Saka's just knocked off the ball. Smith Rowe wins it. Danger here for Chelsea as Arsenal pour forward. Havertz plays it to Nketiah. Nketiah's ball into the box. Saka was lurking there, couldn't stick a foot out and get a touch on it. Silva plays it out for Chelsea. There's some open spaces now, and here come Chelsea trying to exploit them down the left. That's Madueke up against Ben White. Moves forward, no. The pass to Fernandes, no good. He's given it away to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe crosses the halfway line. Oh, Caicedo goes charging into Smith Rowe, knocks into the floor. The referee saw it, knew it was a free kick, allows the game to keep going.
It's actually turned into a little bit of a cup tie for a moment there. You know, and there was a caginess about some of the play, particularly from Chelsea when they went 2-0 up. But now, I think both teams would quite like to go and win this game.
There's Gabriel. Across to Tomiyasu. 89th minute of the game. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Arsenal back from 2-0 down. Brilliant control from Trossard to hook that ball out of the air. Hold Gusto off. Maybe find Nketiah. Nketiah and Caicedo jumped into a challenge there, and Chris Kavanagh's seen it clearly and feels Nketiah's at fault. Caicedo's hurt. Yellow card for the Arsenal striker. Free kick for Chelsea.
Caicedo got himself in a good position there to make sure there was no danger coming. It was the classic stamped on the foot.
Yeah, nice one from George, producer George here. Arsenal have done it once before here in the Premier League against Chelsea, come back from 2-0 down. I remember this game actually, 2-0 down in 1999. Kanu scored a hat-trick in 15 minutes to turn it around. Arsenal won 3-2 with a 90th minute winner. I've got a funny feeling one of those goals was from the byline. Was it that game? I could be wrong, I could be mixing that up, but I think it might have been where he gets down to the byline and just curls it in from an impossible angle.
What year was that?
1999. Chelsea attacking down the right. We are now into the 90th minute of this game. How much added time are we going to have at the end of the game? Taking it to Paris shortly. England, South Africa on the way. Can't wait to listen to that. Colwill, high ball, driven out wide left. Underneath it is Saliba, nods it out for a Chelsea throw. Cucurella wants to get on with it. Both teams still chasing the winner, as Pat Nevin was just saying. Ball back in the Chelsea half at the feet of Colwill. Now forward from Enzo Fernandez, looking for the run of Jackson through the middle. Gabriel cushions a header to White. Rice hooks a pass across to Saka, nicely worked. Havertz plays a clever 1-2 with Nketiah. Cucurella chasing all the way across to try and get a challenge in. Gusto intercepts. Trossard thinks about fouling him. Cucurella plays back to Silva. Silva, cool as you like, fires the best pass possible to Fernandes. 7 minutes. 7 minutes of added time. Madueke knocks the ball past Ben White, wants to pick it up the other side. White blocks him. He gets the yellow card. Chelsea get the free kick.
Yeah, Madueke, he'll be, as you said, you know, his exploits with the 21s were fantastic. But the first time he gets the ball, the thing I love about him, never goes backwards. Always gets the ball. Always attacks his full-back in front of him. First time he's got the ball, he's got a defender book. That's what you do.
Losing track of the yellow cards here. Ben White, the latest recipient of one of those. Chelsea have taken their free kick. Cross comes into the box. It's over everyone apart from David Raya. Catches it easily in both hands. Holds the ball high above his head. 1 minute of the 7 minutes of added time has already gone. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Chelsea definitely the better team in the first half. Got 2-0 ahead early in the second half. Arsenal were coming on strong. The Sanchez mistake, Rice pounced on it, and that's why we're now at 2-2. Rice heads it forward to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe nods it on. Colwill up to win the header. The ball won't get down here. Smith Rowe wins another header. Caicedo volleys it forward. Saliba just hoists it up in the air, out for a throw into Chelsea.
At the moment, it's good the fact that Chelsea, I'm not thinking, we're out of it now, we'll hang on for a point. Like Arsenal, they would like to win this. But you have to be honest about it. If you had to call who you'd expect to win it, it would be the Reds.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there, Pat. Throw in for Arsenal. Just short of the halfway line, wide on the right. Then White takes it down the line, it goes. Havertz flicks it on. Using that height to his advantage. Silva clears it away on the volley. Gallagher has it for Chelsea. He's lost it. Ben White scoops one down the right, and Nketiah chases. Colwill across to cover, knocks it out of play. Throw in for Arsenal. Saka's trying so desperately to pick that ball up quickly, stumbling and kicking it forward and knocking it into a pitchside microphone.
I can tell you what all Chelsea fans are thinking just now. Ex-players come back to haunt them, and it could be Havertz, but then it could be Declan Rice again.
Yeah, Havertz nodding that ball into the penalty area for Arsenal, cleared by Colwill. Gabriel goes chasing back, nods it back to David Raya, has to backpedal into his box, doesn't pick it up though, doesn't need to. plays it into the feet of Declan Rice. 2.5 minutes of the added time have been played. 7 minutes were put up. Rice, high ball out to the right, is beyond Ben White and goes out for a throw-in to Chelsea. Arsenal away to Sevilla on Tuesday night, which is going to be a real test for them in the Champions League. Having won their first game against PSV, lost the second one away to Lens. Caicedo's given it away. Cheers from the Chelsea fans. Tomiyasu flicks it to his left. Trossard knocks it down the left for Tomiyasu to chase. Silva's there first. Dummies a clearance. Side foots a pass to Reece James. James with his left foot nearly hits that into Silva, but gets it back to his goalkeeper. And Nketiah comes scuttling across the penalty area to put the pressure on. Was that a handball from Ben White as he leapt in to control it? Play's allowed to continue. Nketiah, ball at his feet, left-footed strike, easy save for the goalkeeper.
He didn't want to take a chance there, Sanchez, so he played it long, but once again gave the ball away. That's another half chance for Arsenal.
Still end to end at the moment. 3.5 minutes of the 7 minutes of added time gone, and the manager's looking almost identical down there. Both legs spread wide apart, right arms in the air, in matching raincoats as well, bellowing instructions onto the field.
Well, they did play together, didn't they?
That's right. They spoke very warmly, actually, Pat, about the time they spent together as fellow players at Paris Saint-Germain, and actually about their managerial attributes. And now they're both into this career. Here's Havertz inside his own half. Arsenal are going to try and work it from deep. Haven't got the numbers at the moment. They do have the ball, and Saka's hopeful that Nketiah can get past Thiago Silva for pace. Just Thiago Silva had too much of a head start and plays it back to his goalkeeper. 3 minutes remaining. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Gabriel chests it down, stretches the ball into the body of Fernandes. Saliba just knocks it high up in the air. It bounces once inside the Arsenal half. Gabriel just goes to ground, didn't need to. Flick forward, Nicholas Jackson, edge of the box, takes 2 touches, it's forced him wide, hits the shot, and Reyes saves at full stretch.
Well, we always knew that he was going to have a shot on target or towards the target there. I mean, he's got help at the back post. Madueke was getting into a great position. Even Madueke knew he's not going to get a chance there. Had a shot, no strong enough.
Saka caught by Caicedo just short of the halfway line. Arsenal get the free kick. Caicedo's gone down hurt, so we're going to have to wait for the game to restart. We are less than 40 minutes away from full commentary of England, South Africa, Rugby Union World Cup semi-final tonight for the right to meet the All Blacks in the final next Saturday.
I mean, if it ends up a draw just now, I mean, how good a result is that for Arsenal? I mean, it's a great result in the fact that we're 2-0 down.
Yeah.
It's a point away from a tough Chelsea side, but they want to be up there. You can't give them too many chances when, you know, Manchester City are doing what they're doing.
True. I mean, Manchester City have slipped recently before today, got back winning today. You're right, Pat. 21 points apiece right at the top of the Premier League table. They were the two duking it out last season, and Manchester City over that closing stretch had too much.
Well, I have a suspicion that when you watch Arteta after the game, he'll have quite a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
As long as they don't lose it.
Oh, Havertz does really well to win that header edge of the box. No, he doesn't. He's fouled Cucurella as he jumped. Cucurella's gone down holding his face. Free kick Chelsea.
It was one of those ones where I have to say I didn't see anything really particularly bad there. Yeah, his arms come down a bit. It's because Cucurella is quite small and Havertz is really tall. His elbow hits the top of his head, and there was not. I don't think Cucurella was acting. He got a little bit of a hit there. There was one of them in the England game during the week where someone pretended to be hit in the face, which I was disappointed.
Yeah.
We've seen as we're not allowed to say anything negative about that player. I'll not mention who it was.
I think people might know who you're talking about, Pat. Throw in for Arsenal, right back position, 1 minute to go. Football Daily podcast via the BBC Sounds app for all the reaction to today's action. And as I say, if you missed any of the heartwarming tributes to the late Sir Bobby Charlton, they'll be in that Football Daily podcast for you as well. The likes of Alan Shearer, Gary Lineker, Steve Bruce talking on Sports Report this evening. Wayne Rooney and Michael Carrick, of course, former Manchester United players as well, speaking after the games their teams play today in the Championship. Free kick for Chelsea. Are we going to get a late winner in this one? Malo Gusto goes running into space. No, the referee wants it brought back as Chelsea still had Levi Colwill down. Game's just sort of frittering away in the closing few minutes.
I think there's a lot of tired players out there. You can see that. And oddly enough, Chelsea are looking the more tired, which, considering they've not got that many games, but they've survived.
Well, there we go.